We will have plenty of NFL free agency, draft, trade rumors, news, everything else in between for you here on Bengals Breakdown this offseason. We'll begin with some trade rumors on today's show, by the way. If you haven't already and you love the Bengals and you want free videos, hit that sub button right now. First up on our trade rumors roundup is DeForest Buckner, the Colts defensive tackle. Bleacher Report named one trade idea they'd like to see each NFL team pull off. Their idea for the Bengals was getting DeForest Buckner from Indy. The trade package, I always appreciate when outlets do the trade package because otherwise it's like, well, what's the purpose? It all comes down to the cost, right? It was a second-round pick, that's number 49 overall, going to Indy, along with a fifth-round pick in next year's NFL draft class. That is a premium cost to give up for a premium player at a position of need, however. Here's the argument laid out from Bleacher Report. The Bengals struggled to stop the run this season, and they didn't get much pass rush support from their interior defenders other than the 4.5 sacks from B.J. Hill. Trading for Buckner would give them a legitimate star in the middle of the defense. He only has 1 year left on his contract with the Colts, and it has minimal guarantees. So he could easily be extended in a way that fits into their salary cap picture over the next 3 years. Now, Buckner is due $20.25 million in non-guaranteed salary. That $20 million figure, a decent benchmark for what his signing bonus might end up being. Because you could just convert it and then extend, and you're paying him, how many years you want to go? 5, 6 to 8, 9, $10 million for 1 year. But you have to commit to him long term. That may or may not be in the Bengals' plans, given their other big contracts coming up in the future. Buckner, though, is an impact football player. He's been a model of consistency in the last 4 years. 9.5 sacks, 7 sacks, 8 sacks, 8 sacks, 11 TFLs, 11 TFLs, 10 TFLs, 14 TFLs. His tackles actually gone up each season, by the way. Buckner would be the best defensive lineman on this roster in an instant. And that is a significant area of concern for this team. B.J. Hill is a good football player. He is not as good as DeForest Buckner, and if he's not out there or he's only one of your half guys out there, it's not a great list. DJ Reader, B.J. Hill, Zachary Carter's in there, Jay Tufele, Travis Bell, Devin Maxwell. It's not a great group, and I don't trust Carter long-term either. Didn't see great things from him this season. Impact-wise, it's great, but the cost is immense. So back to the trade, right? Bengals get DeForest Buckner. Colts get a second-round pick and a fifth-round pick next season. Would you do this trade? Y for yes, N for no. Go ahead and sound off the pinned comment of today's video. If the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Historically speaking, the Bengals don't like giving away picks or doing trades. Especially not the premium draft assets. They are a draft and develop organization, and in general, they're one of the least trade-happy teams in football. But Buckner does help this team. I think we'd all feel better about this team's interior defensive line if they got DeForest Buckner. But the cost involved of a contract, short-term and long-term, and the draft capital might turn them away hypothetically, because plus, the Colts just might decide to extend him. It'd be a lot easier from that perspective to just make that happen, but it certainly is worth having a conversation about. I think of all the hypothetical trade ideas, at least that one was more entertaining and made sense a little bit for both sides involved. Today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. Let's go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for the first deposit match up to $100. It's daily fantasy made easy. Obviously not much left Super Bowl-wise, but NBA, college basketball, you can still do Prize Picks slates. Again, you can mix and match sports. Always do the flex play. That's a few exceptions of like maybe you got some boosted picks there. But in general, the flex play is the way to go. Leaves you room to get one wrong and still come out on top. Lower payouts, but better chances, right? Here's my 3-player Super Bowl prize picks. Yes, I am doing the flex play here. Christian McCaffrey, more than 18.5 carries. Travis Kelce, more than 70.5 receiving yards. And Rashee Rice, less than 6.5 catches. One more time, folks, prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for the first deposit match up to $100. Link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. Now, I said I thought the DeForest Buckner thing made some sense. The next two, not so much. Bleacher Report arguing, trade away Mike Hilton, saying, quote, Hilton is a veteran defensive back who could help a lot of teams. It also helps the Bengals to clear $6.5 million in cap space by trading him away. Now, everything they wrote is true. He is a good veteran defensive back. They saved $6.5 million. But why are the win now Bengals selling? Why are they creating a hole at nickel corner to save about the amount of money you would then invest into a new nickel corner? Make that make sense to me. Hilton has been a very good football player for this organization. He's a good run stopper. He's a good coverage guy. He's a good blitzer as well. Hilton does so many things that help this organization. It doesn't make sense unless their plan was to make Daxton Hill a full-time nickel, and then you got to go find a new safety. But even then, you're still just creating holes for yourself. The Bengals' cornerback room is in decent shape. I don't know if Owuzie is going to come back. I'd lean towards no. CTB, Hilton, DJ Turner, young guys, a draft pick maybe. That makes sense to me. Trading away Hilton and creating a big hole at a spot where you have good play already, when you're trying to win games, does not make sense to me. So, at the risk of triggering myself when I come back and look at the comments later, who should the Bengals trade away? Wrong answers only. Not the actual player you want to trade away, just wrong answers, funny answers only. Have some fun and vote in the comments. Maybe Ted Karras pops up on there. Bleacher Report also advocated for this one, specifically the idea of sending Ted Karras to the Steelers. Again, why am I selling? Why am I making a division rival better? Bleacher Report writing, quote, Ted Karras, a solid veteran center who would upgrade the offensive line, and the Bengals would shed $6.4 million in salary cap space. Okay, Karras' numbers were not as good as I'd hoped they were going to be this year. The sacks allowed were kind of high. Some of that was a quarterbacking issue at times. The other issue I have here is this. I trade away Ted Karras. A veteran free agent center would cost more than $6.4 million that I'd be saving, whether that's a Connor Williams or a Tyler Biadasz or whatever. My new starting center is Trey Hill. I'm re-signing Max Sharping, who couldn't get on the field over Karras last year. I don't get it. Again, I need my trades to make sense for both parties involved. The DeForest Buckner one maybe made enough sense for Indianapolis. I think that was still kind of stretching it a little bit. These last two for Cincinnati, Ted Karras and Mike Hilton, unless the organization says we don't want them at all, which I'd be kind of surprised by, given the public comments, doesn't make sense to me. Now, you can't really have Bengals trade rumors without talking about T. Higgins, can you? Other NFL teams and fans, etc., would love to get Higgins away from the Bengals. Duh, right? They want the number one caliber wide receiver. The only way that I think would happen is, at least it makes most sense for the Bengals, outside of letting him walk for a future third, I think it'd be a terrible idea right now, is to use the tag and trade. You would tag T. Higgins, he signs it, and goes to a new destination. You get back a second or a late one or something in that range. So would you trade away T. Higgins if you ran the Bengals organization? Sound off for me in the comment section right now. There are some benefits to a tag and trade. You get a better draft pick in a quicker time frame than what you would get if you just let him leave in free agency. There are benefits to it from more of a longer viewpoint of 4 years from now. Would you rather have the extra year of Higgins or the draft pick? You can make the argument the pick would be better. It's also not this organization's style to do the tag and trade stuff. To be fair, also not their style to give the quarterback a record-setting contract, which they did. I'm very happy that they chose to go down that route. My guess is that this team, given the fact that they want to win games right now, would rather go down the one more year trio grouping. Give Burrow, give Higgins, give Chase at least one more year, and then reevaluate everything. Because also when the quarterback says he expects the receiver to be here, normally it means the receiver ends up being here. Maybe it's only a tag, maybe an extension contract. It would be a great outcome there. But unless you get the word that Higgins is going to hold out crazy, something different, I don't think that's his style. I think the best bet is to keep him. Now, we will have more Higgins updates, news, rumors, trades, etc. So if you haven't already, hit that sub button for me right now, youtube.com/BengalsTV.